At long last, we have reached the last Pixar film in my Retro Wednesday series of reviewing Pixar movies, and I really wish it was a better way to close the series. So this is my review for Brave, which, funny enough, was the very last movie to come out before I started reviewing movies. This movie came out near the end of June, like the second to last week or last week of June, and I started reviewing movies in July, so hey, funny how that works out. But this is Brave, Pixar's first movie after their only bad movie, Cars 2, which tells the story of a Scottish princess named Merida who wants to be free. She wants to be independent, doesn't want to act all ladylike, but her mother, the queen, is determined to have Merida act like a real woman. So when some other Scottish kings come in to offer their son's hand in marriage to Merida, that's like the breaking point. Merida is like, you know what, screw this. I will be competing for my own hand, so I get to choose what I want to do. And this doesn't really go well with her mother. They have a huge fight. Merida comes across a witch who could probably help out with the issues with her mother, but let's just say things go wrong, and this takes Merida on an adventure to try and make things right with her mother. So I saw this movie in the theater twice, and I remember really, really liking it, and was confused why some people were just kind of on it. But having rewatched this in prep for this review, it really does not hold up that well. I mean, let me say this right now. It is a good movie. It is a good movie. Not anything great, so I guess spoiler alert for my rating. But there are some things that are pretty disappointing, especially having to marathon all the other Pixar movies beforehand. I mean, for one, the story is not too original. It's a basic Disney princess story, except made from Pixar. So you get a lot of the traditional Disney princess tropes. It feels very familiar. I'm not on the whole bandwagon of disliking a movie just because it's unoriginal. I can deal with tropes, but here it's just nothing too special. Unlike a lot of other Pixar movies, there isn't anything that really stands out. There are no memorable lines that I can quote. There are no characters that stick out. And it's just not super memorable, honestly. And a lot of the comedy doesn't work. A lot of the comedy basically comes from silly slapstick, which it can be harmless, but Pixar is usually so clever at their humor that to see them just kind of resort to slapstick, mainly in the middle, which I think the middle is kind of terrible, it's a letdown. Pixar is definitely better than this, but I want to get to what's good about this movie, because as I said before, it is a good movie. For one, the animation is beautiful. The Highlands of Scotland look incredible. Everything is so well detailed. The land has a unique look and atmosphere to it. All the voice actors do a good job. We have Kelly Macdonald as Merida, the main character. We have Billy Connolly as the king. We have Emma Thompson as the queen. It's the other Emma from Harry Potter. One thing I really have to admire this movie for is the message it has. While I said that the story is a basic Disney princess formula, it has a message that no Disney princess movie has really touched upon beforehand, which is the mother and daughter relationship. Because usually in a Disney princess movie, the mother is either A, dead, or B, some evil stepmother like in Snow White or Tangled. The fact that this is the first Disney princess movie to have a biological mother, okay, there's Tangled, but the biological mother is barely in that movie, but to have the biological mother be the main character, and to have this important bond between her and her daughter, I found that very good. I found it to be a very touching message. I mean, I'm a dude, so I personally can't relate, but I have seen this movie with a couple friends who are girls, who have had this message affect them greatly. So to say that this message is weak or fails to deliver, I think is kind of absurd, because I've seen it work. And then the ending is the best part. The ending is where you get the big climax of the movie, a battle between all your main characters and the villain of the movie, Mordu, which is entertaining, And then it has the ultimate pin in the mother-daughter relationship, which, if you've seen Beauty and the Beast, you've kind of seen the ending to Brave and how everything wraps up, but I think it works. So in the end, while I think some people may be a little too harsh on Brave, it definitely is still a step down from a lot of Pixar's other efforts, and could have been better. It really could have been a better movie. But for what we have here, what it does well, it does well. So that's good enough for me to say that this movie is good, but it's not great. It's not one of Pixar's best, obviously, and it's not one of the better Disney princess movies, which I find funny that in 2012, Pixar would make a movie that you would see Disney make, and then Disney goes to make a movie that is something that Pixar would make, Wreck-It Ralph. So I find it funny that the studios just kind of switched ideologies for that year. But anyhow, that's my review for Brave and all of the Pixar movies released so far. I've already reviewed Monsters University when it came out, and basically it's like Brave. It's a good movie, has some great moments. The two main characters are still as we remember them from Monsters, Inc. And while it does have another message that I don't see a lot of animated movies tackle, which I commend Pixar for doing, it is a very generic college movie at its core, and it could have been better. And then came Inside Out, which is still my favorite movie of the year. It's back to what Pixar does best. It's visually beautiful, it's emotionally powerful, it's funny as hell. It's just an incredible movie. So what will it be of The Good Dinosaur? Only time will tell, but I'm looking forward to it. So, again, that wraps up all my Pixar reviews. Tune in soon for my next Retro Wednesday series. Maybe in a couple of hours, even. But until then, leave a comment to tell me what you thought of Brave. If you've seen it, what did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends, and tell me what your favorite Pixar movie is. So just leave that in the comments. And this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one.